Next up, I have a surprise for all of you. One of my favorite things about coaching such a diverse group of entrepreneurs is I get to be exposed to many different types of businesses and business models and markets and industries. And not too long ago, maybe 8 months ago, I shared a video about some of my personal stuff, and I had a friend of mine reach out to just chat. That turned into a conversation about their growth of their business. And over the last 6 to 7 months, 8 months maybe, I've had the pleasure of coaching both Arman and Chad at Evo. If you don't know Project Evo, you're going to learn a whole lot more about it right now. But what's incredible is that they've continued to offer at any time, any point I was going somewhere, or I organized this kind of like one-off event in San Diego not too long ago. They were like, hey, if you want some planners, let me know and I'll hook you up. And I just said, hey, you know, I've got a group of entrepreneurs that probably would love to understand how to enhance their flow state and make sure that we get those key projects done easier. And they were more than kind enough to essentially sponsor and hook us up. So with that, I want to invite, and I'd love your help in me welcoming me to the stage, Arman and Chad from Project Evo. 3, 2, 1. The man. This is where we all do the high fives. Okay, run it down, guys. Run it down. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah! Love it. Oh, yeah. I want that. You get an Evo and you get an Evo. Yeah.
Thank you guys for bringing your best. It's been awesome for us, and there's been a lot of information. But what is all this information without implementation? Right? Because it's very difficult to go home from here and not be able to actually execute on all of this.
We're all probably feeling that right now. It's like all this information, it's like you leave here, and when am I going to find time to implement this stuff?
Yeah. So let me ask you guys a question. How many of you have days where you wake up and you just react to everything that happens to you all day long? Everyone, yes or yeses day, I would say, right? And at the end of the day, it feels like you're overwhelmed, you're stressed, you're tired, and each activity actually is pulling energy out of you. Does everyone kind of feel that way sometimes? Like each activity is actually taking energy out of your body. However, we've all had days where we feel the opposite. We feel focused. We feel like we're in flow. We wake up with intention. We have a plan. We do Dale's, forgot what you call it, Dale. Where are you?
It was amazing.
Yes, it was amazing. He can't wait to put all, it's going to be awesome. And we have a plan, and we actually follow that plan, and we find our zone. We find our flow state. At the end of the day, we sort of have this feeling like we had an abundance of time and energy, and all the activities actually gave us energy. How many have felt that? Yes or yes? So how do we optimize our lives for more of that and less of the other shit? That's the question. That's what we're all always asking ourselves.
Yeah, 100%. So we're going to take just 60 seconds. It's going to be a little bit role-playing here, but take 60 seconds and actually write down on your list right now. And this is perfect because of Dale going up. Write down, how does your day look like? What are the activities you're doing on a daily basis right now, a typical day? Get out of your head, just like, what do I actually do? And this is going to be revealing, I think, for a lot of us, and it's perfect from what we just learned.
You can write in your new notebook that you just found. So try to go for 5, real quick, guys, like 60 seconds. Let's do it fast. Don't overthink it. Try to get at least 5 things that you do consistently every day. Shoot for 10. And so, okay, you're in sales. You're doing calls. You've got meetings. What does your day look like? You're the
personal stuff in there too. Like
sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, how do you spend your day? Yeah.
Just capture
90
the big
seconds
chunks.
starting
Meow.
now.
And I think at the end of the day, what we all want, especially coming out of this, is like, we all want to be a little more productive. We all want our businesses to be a little bit more successful. We all want a little bit more cash in our pockets. But at the end of the day, I think we're really starved for meaning. And that's where the hippy-dippy part comes in. And we have really witnessed this and truly believe in this because I think that a lot of the times, like our success with this company, we don't think of this in an egotistical way like, man, we're just so awesome. Like everyone loves our product. We know that people are starved for meaning. Yes. People want to find a way to focus. People want to find a little bit more fulfillment at the end of their day. When they sit down, they want to feel like, man, I have more energy. I have more of where that came from. And that's what I think we're all starved for, and I think that's why our campaign and what we're doing is resonating with people.
Yeah, that was a big piece of knowing that the timing of this is right, because we launched our campaign. I think we're going to show you the video next. But having people just light up and like, you know what, this is such a big part. Like, I am an alchemist, I am an oracle, and relating to that, and then setting up their days and knowing that this is a solution to burnout that's happening, to people, suicide and prescriptions and all this thing that's happening in our world. There's actually a solution to all of it, and well, I wouldn't say all of it, but to a lot of it, and it's brain type.
Yeah, and this is something that it's been an insane journey that Chad and I have been working on for over 3.5 years. And the brain type assessment is a condensed version of the back end that we've developed for these last 3.5 years. And we basically simplified it down to these 4 brain types. Now, you are all of these types. They are a part of you. But it's just about preference, and it's about the order of preference. The analogy we often make is left and right-handedness. At the end of the day, you have a preference between the two, and you choose. So if you've taken the brain type assessment, and don't worry if you haven't, if you've taken the brain type assessment, you should know your primary brain type, right? And we're going to go through these a little bit right now. So some of you haven't taken the assessment. Some of you probably took it and don't remember which one you are. You're like, I don't know, fucking architect, alchemist, one of those. So we're going to go through this really quick and help you kind of affirm this without having to take the assessment. And that way, you kind of walk away with some tools around how to design your day. So, question, which of these sounds most like you? You either prefer abstract ideas and possibilities, you live in a more abstract world, or you prefer tangible, real-world experiences. So decide right now between those two. Raise your hand if you got a decision. Yes, yes, perfect. Now, if you're on the abstract side, you have to choose between these two. Which of these sounds most like you? I process lots of data. I know you probably can't see this, so I'll read it slowly. I process lots of data points to hone in on one specific outcome. I tend to fixate on an idea for a long time. Okay? Or I prefer to leave things open-ended and need a lot of variety to thrive. There's a typo there. I love sharing my ideas with others. So, if you're the first one, you land on Oracle, and there's something really interesting about this room that we'll share with you guys. And if you're the second one, you are an alchemist. Does everyone in that pie have a decision? Yes or yes? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, second side. This is the side that prefers more tangible, real-world experiences. Your reality is more concrete. Okay. Which of these sounds like you? I live in the moment. I need a lot of freedom to thrive, and I prefer not to deal with lots of details.
Yeah, that's me. Definitely me.
Mr. Explorer of all explorers, right here. So a lot of explorers in the room, actually. I was just talking to who was I just talking to? Surrounded by 4 or 5 explorers on our team, and she's yeah, there you are. Surrounded by 4 or 5 explorers on our team. So, or on the concrete, tangible, real world side, I think in a detailed and step-by-step way. I prefer to get all my work done before relaxing. Okay, those are the 4. And that, my friends, is the architect. So let's get a sense of what's in the room.
Yeah. I'm curious, actually. And again, this languaging, I know it's tough, but once you see the languaging, it kind of pops. So I'm curious how many people are fellow explorers in the room? Raise your hand. Awesome. Okay, that's my fun seekers. You want to definitely be in nature. How many people are architects?
Real quick about explorers as well. Oh, wow, it's even more architects than explorers.
Wow.
So explorers,
Wow.
You need fun
Yes.
to thrive. And a lot of times, if you were like Chad, you grew up being told that was bad. You can't do that. Sit down. And so if you're an explorer, sitting at a desk or a cubicle and being shackled is torture.
Yeah, prison,
Okay?
basically
It's
prison. Yeah.
And or you might actually have this idea that structure is bad for you.
Right.
But discipline is freedom, which we're finding for explorers as well, and that structure is actually okay. Now, to the architects, your brain's like a filing cabinet. You can pluck it out of your head and you know exactly where things are. Everything is structured. What you need is balance in your life. And this is counterintuitive because architects aren't very good at balance. They're most likely to be the workaholics. These are people you can count on, they're dependent, so on and so forth, but at the end of the day, they don't give themselves the balance they need. They also have a tendency to be very ordered. And this is something that they need that sometimes they don't realize, should I be this OCD and organized all the time? but yet it's actually something that you need to feel at peace. Okay? Alchemists. Can we see how many alchemists in the room? That's awesome. Tell me about alchemists.
Nice. So alchemist needs variety. Okay, so this is a big one. I was actually talking to somebody earlier about this. If you don't set variety in your life, you're going to start sabotaging stuff. So this is what's really, really important with alchemists. You'll see like alchemists come alive when they're thinking of ideas and brainstorming. And so being able to tap into that power is actually pretty amazing because, again, what is alchemy? You're turning from nothing to something, right? So you'll notice an alchemist because they're always like, it's abstract thinking and they get really excited about ideas. And yeah, I'm surprised there's so many in this room. It's really cool.
Right, and so now we're on this abstract side, right? So everything is very concrete to architects and explorers. But as soon as you start talking about alchemists, the world is a malleable place. Anything is possible, right? And so they see an infinite realm of possibilities. These are the people that oftentimes, and they like to hear this, a lot of the great geniuses of civilization have been alchemists. They love to hear this. So the Da Vinci's, the Einsteins, it's a particular way of thinking. Go ahead and pat yourself on the back, alchemist. Sometimes I wish I was one. And then finally, how many oracles in the room? Look at that, you guys. Where are the oracles? Where are they?
Yeah.
So we've never seen this distribution before, and when we were talking to Kelsey, and she gave us the distribution of who took the brain type assessment, we were shocked. We're like, wow, there's no SaaS founder oracles. So if you want to know about oracles, talk to Julio of Project Evo.
The chief oracle back there.
The chief oracle. What do oracles need? Oracles need space to think and disconnect. They're abstract thinkers as well, but their reality, as far as how they see things, what their strength is that they can pluck things out of the sky of their mind, almost as if they're constellations in the stars. It's like a spaghetti web of information in their minds. So think of it as like an architect sees things linearly. There is no linear. Even Julio at times often talks about like time. What do you mean time? Everything is now, where I'm just here. There isn't this linear reality. And it's a beautiful thing because, again, it's like infinite possibilities. Think Steve Jobs. Think Elon Musk. These are the types of thinkers I'm talking about. So,
yeah, and this is actually a big piece of, and again, a lot of it's the languaging, right? We've heard of personality stuff, we've heard of Myers-Briggs, DISC, all this stuff. But like when you actually lean into the languaging of this and how you show up to thrive and how you see other people, it is super powerful. We've seen it transform our teams, my friendships, my family, like sitting down and having a conversation with my mom and being like, wow, you're an oracle. I actually understand you more than I ever have in my life right now. And she felt seen, right? I understood everything, my dad. And so anyway, it's a very powerful tool that once you get the languaging of it, it's communicate it because you'll start to see it show up everywhere in your life and you'll be a lot more understanding of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit play.
Hit play. So this is our campaign video.
What if our definition of success is all wrong? In our work-obsessed culture, we assume that success comes from optimal productivity. Yet no matter how much we get done, the world throws more and more at us.
How is it the more we get done, the worse we actually feel? We all know the feeling of waking up full of energy, excited to crush it. But at the end of the day, we're completely drained.
Our obsession with killing it is killing us.
We knew there had to be a better way. So like all good entrepreneurs, we became the experiment.
We tried everything. Planners, books, apps, seminars, coaches, masterminds, meditation, cold showers. There was even a sweat lodge. And what we learned is
True success is not endless productivity. It's a feeling of focus, flow, and freedom.
And it turns out we don't all work the same way because we don't all work the same way. Every human being organizes and processes information differently. And so we need a system that works the way we do.
After 73,000 beta users, more than a dozen prototypes, and countless hours in development, we finally did it.
Introducing Evo, the world's first personalized flow system. It had to be beautiful, so we spared no expense on design. Copper gilded pages, full color throughout, and a smart interior layout. But Evo is more than just a planner. It's a dashboard for your life.
First, you start by taking the assessment to identify your brain type so we can send you your customized planner. Then, use the Evo app to track and measure your daily progress. This helps you recognize patterns and see what's working for you.
Are you happier and more effective when you get outside? Does your workflow take a dip when you skip your morning meditation? Evo will show you.
By focusing on the right things, Evo ensures that you evolve and get better every single day.
With Evo, you get more done, have more energy, and become more aligned with who you really are.
Endless productivity is not the answer. It's focus. Focus equals flow, and flow is freedom.
Our founding members get the lowest price ever on Evo. Join us and back Evo today.
Big round of applause. That was awesome.
Nice little voice. Okay, so quickly look at your list that you have. Now you understand a little bit about brain type. Obviously, there's a lot to this, but is there anything that you can sort of, rewrite in there? How would you spend your day a little bit different? So take just, 30 seconds maybe and find that wisdom. Circle a couple things. For example, explorers, again, I actually have to set fun into my day. I actually have to plan it. Because if my mind doesn't think I'm going to have fun during the day, I will sabotage it. I'm like,
I'm an explorer. Everybody kept asking what I am. I'm an explorer.
you're explorer. Yeah, got it. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, where for Arman, like having balance and having structure is absolutely necessary. So like even in our teams outside of ourselves, we're doing this for each other, right? Like I'm going to make sure the fun is happening. We have things going on and there's a certain pace. He's going to make sure that, we're not burning out and there's balance and structure. So it's like we work with each other with our strength, with how we're wired. Does that make sense?
So just take a quick look at your list and think about what's missing too. Like, are there things that you should be doing that give you energy? Things that you desire to do that light you up, that should be in there in your schedule, because like you're the boss. So figure it out the way you want it, and then what can you defer, delegate, delete from your list that shouldn't be there anymore? And Dan, I think you're the master of this and often talk about it, but I think it's like, what can we actually, like, how do you theme your day? Like Dan, you were saying you do creation in the morning and then conversation in the afternoon, right? So it's like, think about your energy flow. So 90 seconds. You guys want to take 90 seconds really quick to do that?
Do your edit.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, so the question, I don't know if anyone heard, but was just how to structure your day as an Oracle. Yeah, for us, for Oracles, what we need to thrive is focus time. So for me, I literally schedule in my calendar time where it's focus time. It's literally a meeting with myself. As far as anyone else is concerned, I'm busy. I can't go to that meeting, or I can't do that. It's just like any other meeting that I have for that day, but this just happens to be a meeting with myself. And I use that time, no distractions. I'm not on Facebook, my phone's to the side, or I'm not even really using it, and I'm just focusing on whatever needs to get done. So yeah, what I've found really is just like that time to disconnect, which is also like focus time is another way of saying time to disconnect. So like on a non-business way, I was just with my family for the holidays and just with them, like a small little place. And after a while, I'm like, I love them, but I need a break. I need to disconnect for a little bit. So when I finally got that, I realized the energy that I was lacking and how much energy that gives me. And then I'm ready to go back and hang out with my family again. So it's not like stay away family, but it's like I know what I need to thrive, and it's creating, like Chad was saying, setting up and creating your days, because we are all leaders in this room right now, and creating that structure for your day so you can thrive and be a better leader for those that look at you as a leader. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. With that, we're going to keep things going. Something super fun. If you haven't figured it out yet, Chad and Arman are, and the team at Evo were kind enough to hook us all up with our personalized Project Evo journal. So let's give them a big round of applause. Thanks to Julio. Appreciate it. So you can pick those up at the end of the day when we wrap up, and they're obviously in the group, so the cool part is if we have any follow-ups, we can hit them up on Facebook. Is that cool? Yeah. Awesome. Again, 3, 2, 1 for the Evo guys. Awesome. Thanks, guys.